Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Tracey Earl is a co-founder of We Are in Business, a business networking and support community. We Are in Business started back in 2018 and had to quickly adapt in March 2020. Thank you very much for joining me on the podcast, Tracey.
You're welcome. It's lovely to be here.
Now, we're going to talk about your current business, which is called We Are in Business, in a minute. But before that, I'd like to talk about what you did before, because I know you ran another small business, didn't you? What did you do?
Well, I was actually a cake maker, and I had a shop for quite a number of years in the local town. And I built the business up from home before I started the shop, and it was something that I'd done for so long, and I loved it. I loved making cakes. I enjoyed meeting people and helping them to make happy memories of at their events. So it was lovely to be part of their celebrations, really, because that's basically what people were doing when they came to the shop to order a cake. It was usually for a celebration.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
So how did that business first get started?
Well, it started a long time ago, really. I was always in catering and bakery. I did that at college. When I left college, I went into hotel work, which the hours really I didn't like very much. So I ended up in a bakery, and I ended up sort of working my way through to be the head cake maker there. When I left there to have a baby, my daughter was born with very special needs, and there was just no way I could go back to work. So we had numerous appointments, numerous physiotherapy sessions, and lots of things to do.
Yeah.
So it was really kind of impossible to go back to work. So I just started making the odd cake here and there, started for friends, and then I put a little advert in the local post office and got a few orders from that, and it kind of just built up, and like I say, eventually it just took over my house, and I thought, this is ridiculous. I've got to get a shop. By which time my daughter was, she was about 16 by then. So yeah, it had built up quite considerably in that time, and it was good. I earned some money. I enjoyed what I was doing, and it was a good little business.
Have you got any idea how many cakes you made over the years?
Oh gosh, I was looking back on my laptop. I was sorting through some old photographs and trying to put some onto some storage that I got the other day, and I was looking, and there was just thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures, and I won't throw them away. I won't delete them, but they're there stored on this little hard drive thing that I've got, and thousands, absolutely.
So how did your current business, We Are in Business, come about?
Well, I guess because I'd run my own business for so long, and Ian had been self-employed since 2008, we realised that it was quite a lonely place being a business owner. So we wanted to start and create something that helped people not feel so isolated and feel so alone and feel so, have some support, really.
Yeah.
I think when you start a business, you don't always realise what's involved in running a business. I was good at making cakes, but I just thought, I'll make a cake, I'll sell it, I'll get some money, and that's a business. But there's so much more to it than that, as you realise as you go along. But at first, when you are good at doing something, that's why you start a business.
Yes.
Primarily. Most people start a business because of that. And I think when you go into all the marketing and the accounts and just everything about your branding, everything, you don't realise that quite at first. So we wanted to help people to gain some knowledge and information to help them run a better business, as well as offering them support and help with connections, really. Sorry.
When you're a small business owner, and particularly if you're a sole trader like I am, there are so many hats you've got to wear, aren't there?
Yes, it's not just doing your job. You've got all the other things that you've got to do as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, you don't always realise that when you start your business. So,
Yeah. And like you say, you start out doing something because, in your case, like the cake making, it's something that you're good at doing, but you might not be good at doing the finances or the marketing, and yet it's things that you have to do.
yes, yeah. It can come as a bit of a shock, actually, can't it?
Absolutely.
If you don't realise.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So tell me about what the early years of We Are in Business were like, because I know you started, was it 2018 you started this?
Yeah, well, we started 4 years ago. So we've done nearly as long online as we did offline.
Yeah.
And it is quite different. So yeah, when we first started, we were face-to-face meetings. We had one venue and we met every other week. And then we got another couple of venues, and some weeks we had 2 meetings and some weeks we just had the one. So in 3 different venues we moved around.
And which area of the country was this in?
Oh, it was Leeds and Bradford.
Right.
So around that area. So the meetings were... We varied the time as well. Sometimes some were early morning, some were sort of 7:30, and some were later on at 9:30. Just really to capture a different audience, really, because some people have family commitments, and you know, if you've got to get kids to school or you've got to look after elderly parents or whatever, you know, you don't have the time to go to an early morning meeting. So we did some later meetings as well at 9:30 when people could get there. And they worked out really well. They were really popular. So that's why we kind of stuck then to the 9:30 time for our meetings, you know, to allow people time to get the children off to school. So yeah, they were very frequent, and just, well, prior to the pandemic, at the beginning of 2000, things were starting to pick up. We were starting to get some new members on board, and the group was growing until March hit, and it was like, oops, what do we do now? And it was kind of the week before Boris made his announcement. We have speakers at all of our events, so at that point, when it was a face-to-face meeting, we had half an hour sessions, someone giving some useful information about, it could be any topic, it could be about LinkedIn, it could be about marketing, it could be about your social media, it could be even about sort of personal well-being and that sort of thing. So there was a topic every week, and the lady who was due to speak the week before, I think she rang me up on the Monday morning and said, she said, I think I've got this COVID thing.
No.
And we were like, oh, right, okay. Well, never mind, we can Zoom you into the room. But then as the day progressed, as sort of the Monday went along, it was sort of like, and people were starting to get a bit twitchy and a bit touchy and a bit, I don't know if I'll come tomorrow. Oh no, what's going on? Are we still having a meeting? You know. So we just said, we'll do the whole thing on Zoom. Why not? We'll give it a try. Well, we'd never used Zoom before, so somebody helped us to do that first meeting online, and we're like, this could work. And it was like a revelation, really. It was like, blimey, we didn't know that, you know, you could do this.
Yeah.
So it really was. It was an eye opener, and it was. Well, we never looked back after that, really.
Yeah. So when you did that first meeting, I guess it was pretty much moving what you had done face to face online. Have you changed your format since then?
Yes, we have. I mean, I think that first meeting we just had a bit of a general chit chat between everybody, and then the speaker did her session. Whereas now we still have the education session. It's not as long because people's concentration on Zoom, we realised, isn't what it is when you're in person. So we have about 1/4 of an hour education session, and then we put people into breakout rooms because, as you know, from if you've been on Zoom, you can't all talk, can you?
No.
So to get those better relationships, we put people into smaller rooms, introduce themselves, and we perhaps give them a topic to discuss or something in the room, so they get to know each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
In that way. But we've tweaked it several times over the course of 2 years.
I'm sure it's enough time to refine things, isn't it? A couple of years.
Yes. Yes.
So now that we seem to be sort of heading out of the pandemic, touch wood, are you back to holding face-to-face meetings again?
Well, we've just started actually, and last Friday we had an event at a fantastic co-working space in the heart of Leeds, and they came to us a few weeks ago and said, we'd like to come along to your meetings. I said, well, that would be brilliant. I said, we're looking to have hold some events. And they just said, you can do them here. And it was they just got the idea that by holding a networking event, they would get businesses into their co-working space. And, we got somewhere to hold the meetings. So it was like win-win for both of us. And it's a fantastic co-working space in Leeds. It's about 3 minutes from the train station. And we had 20 odd people in the room last Friday, and it was just so good. It was like, it was so nice to be back together again with people. And we met lots of new people. There was some of our regular members from the online meetings there, but then we met lots of new people as well. So it was really good. It was a good event.
Yeah.
So we're going to do those once a month in Leeds at the co-working space. It's called To Work, and it's just near the Metropole Hotel.
Oh, sounds perfect. Are you also going to continue with online? I mean, presumably you've got members who would find it difficult to get to Leeds.
Yes, we have. Yeah, we've picked up members nationwide. We've got a member in Scotland, a couple down south in Surrey, and some over in Hull. So we're kind of north, south, and east. We just need some from the west.
So tell me about the format of the meetings as they are currently.
The online ones, we start with a quick introduction around the room, just so that everybody knows who's there, because on Zoom, not everybody changes their name, do they, to tell you what they are. They just say their name, and some people just put their first name, and you think, how on earth am I going to connect with you on LinkedIn if I don't know who you are or what you do or your surname? So we just do a quick round the room. And then we split into breakout rooms. After that we have the education session, which the guest educator usually sets a question for them to discuss. So obviously relating to the topic that they've talked about, and then we usually get a bit of feedback from each of the groups after the breakout rooms. So and then there is another breakout room. So there's 3 breakout rooms altogether, and so people generally meet about a dozen people.
Yeah.
In those rooms, because I do mix everybody up. I don't do it randomly, because I know from past experience when I've been and people do it randomly, quite often you get the same people again and again.
It's often not very random, is it?
No. So I try very hard, and it's getting more and more difficult the more and more people that there are. I don't have a system. If anybody knows of any sort of randomising software that you can use to mix people up in breakout rooms, I'd actually be really, really interested to hear about it, because I sit with my pen and paper and I work out who's going in what rooms, just so that everybody speaks to different people within the meeting.
Yeah.
And if they don't get, if they feel that they've not had long enough to talk to people, they arrange the one-to-ones afterwards.
Yes.
Because that's the whole point of networking,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So why do you think that networking is important for small business owners?
I just think it's that support. I know when I had my business, it was so lonely. And I didn't realise that other business owners were experiencing the things that I was experiencing. And you don't know that until you start to talk to people. And that building that support network around you is just invaluable. I joined the Chamber of Trade and Commerce in the town when I had my shop, right at the very beginning. And this was like in 2004. And it was a very small group of people. In fact, quite elderly gentlemen who ran it, and they were sort of retired or semi-retired. And I suppose that was the start of my networking journey, really. But at the time, I didn't know what networking was, and I didn't know that that's what I was doing by building this community. But as time went on, and we got more members and things to the chamber, I did develop this network of people around me, and it's just nice to know there's other people around that understand what you're going through, because your family and friends, if they're not business owners, they don't always get it.
No, absolutely, yeah.
You know, they don't understand, and if they're working 9 to 5 and they get paid at the end of the week the same amount every week or every month, then if you have a months where you're not earning as much, or you've had a good month, they just don't understand. Sometimes.
What tips can you give to people for networking? Because I think there are good ways to go about it and bad ways to go about it. So what would you recommend people do?
I think it's all in the follow-up, isn't it? I think trying to arrange the one-to-ones afterwards and look for ways that you can help people, really.
Yeah.
Because the more you help other people, the more that will come back, won't it? It'll be reciprocal, and people will remember you, and they'll think, oh yeah, so-and-so, I remember them. And so the more that you can help and introduce people to other people, then the more you will get in return, really.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I was having a look at your We Are in Business website, and I came across something called Goal Getters, which intrigued me. So can you tell us what Goal Getters is?
Well, the Goal Getters is an accountability group, and we set it up probably about a year and a half ago. We just wanted to help our members, or anybody really who wants to join. It's not just exclusively for members, and it's a monthly event that we have on a Monday afternoon, about the third Monday I think it is in the month, and we set out our intentions for the month, and we work out. We've got books or sheets that we can use, and you can plot your goals. So we look usually 3 months ahead. Yeah. And then each month we sort of set out our intentions of what we're going to do that month towards that goal for 3 months' time. I mean, some things happen quicker than 3 months. Some things are a longer term, sort of year or 2 years down the line. But each sort of block of 90 days is kind of a stepping stone towards that long-term goal.
Yeah.
I mean, people have worked towards taking on employees, they've built their websites, they've put their processes in place, they've even lost weight. Even though it's mainly a business, it's mainly sort of business related. But one of the ladies said, I've got to add this goal on as well, and she lost some weight for a holiday, so that was it was good to see. It's good to see the results. It's good to see the achievements that the members have made. Well, like I said, not just the members, but the goal getters have made.
Brilliant. And what kind of businesses are you aiming your networking and your goal getting at? Is it any kind of business?
The members that we have are mainly service based, so not tradespeople. So we have HR companies, we have travel consultants, we have website guys, and they're mainly, when they come to us, they're usually sort of, I mean, we do have some very new businesses. A recruitment lady who joined us recently had only started her business towards the end of last year.
Right.
And one of the VAs we had, she started a couple of months before she joined us. So we've helped some very, very young businesses, but then we've got some businesses that are maybe 3, 4, 5 years old. So and they're sort of coming along with us along their journey, which is really nice to watch them. And we've seen the businesses flourish and take off, and they've taken on employees, and it's just great to watch them. It is.
Yeah. So how can people try a meeting? Is that something, do you have to pay to come to the meetings? Can you come and try one for free?
We can arrange a free visit. I can give you a code that you can put in your show notes if anybody would be interested in coming along for free, and I can give you a link. But we we are on Eventbrite, and we also use another booking platform called Try Booking, which is a good booking system. They're on a Tuesday morning at 9:20, and they last for an hour and a half. So it's not a whole morning, it's not a whole day, it's not, it's an hour and a half and you're done.
Yeah. And just finally then, if people want to connect with you, Tracey, how can they find you?
I'm on LinkedIn, or we have a website which is weareinbusiness.co.uk. We're on Instagram and Facebook as well. So
Lovely.
Quite a few places.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Tracey, and best of luck with continuing with We Are in Business.
Thank you very much, Liz. It's nice to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.